Welcome back to another war recap. We went up against Russian League, another Russian-Ukrainian clan. I guess when we declare war is a really popular time for them to declare war because this is like the third or fourth Russian clan in a row we faced. But as usual, we continue to slay them and keep marching forward with that win streak and getting better. We had a lot of some exciting action, cleared pretty much everything except a couple, little bit Town Hall 10 and one or two nines, I think. They were mostly, there was a little bit of mixed go wipe and a little bit of, what do they do? Double jump, double heal with the Valks. Some of them did four heals with the Valks, with mass Valks. Mixed success. It was interesting to watch though. See different clans experimenting with different stuff. You can definitely see different styles. Um, but one thing that I wanted to point out for this war, I know quite a few people have been watching my videos, and I try to like hit upon certain points and topics and stuff. And a lot of time, the stuff that I say is sort of generalizations. Like if you're using, you know, 12, 15 Valks, you only want to use one goal. And sometimes that's true, and sometimes it's not true. And there's some other things like with Queen Walks, do this. And, most of the time it'll be true, but not always. So just remember, guys, every base is base specific. Bring the army to fit that base. And there are certain, stereotypes or whatnot, I guess, that you can say are true, but sometimes they're not true, and you need to be able to recognize them. All right, with all that talking out of the way, let's get into the action and the replays. We had some super, really good Town Hall 10 action. We got a bunch of really high percents. Luckily, we were able to clean some of them up. Otherwise, it would have been a bunch of 95%, and that would have been depressing. So, Kay bringing us our top Town Hall 10 3-star here. We'll show Paul's in a little bit after he cleaned up my failure. Let's see. Kay starting off with that Queen Lock like normal. Pretty standard at Town Hall 10, especially on these ring style bases that I guess you could say are Kay's specialty, is just creating a little bit of a funnel, do some trimming. His Queen Walks are pretty short, I would say, for most Town Hall 10s. I usually try to walk for a minute, maybe a minute and a half, because I know the Valks are so speedy. But he does a little healer transfer there. His Queen keeps going. The healers heal the main group and then bounce back. He uses that CC to pull his Valks into the core and the skeletons, which is a theme that we'll kind of see throughout this war, and I'll point it out in some Town Hall 9 action where it's more obvious. Everything goes into the core. His double rage, double freeze that he is famous for. And once you get the core slayed, you pretty much just need a group walking down the left and a group walking down the right, and eventually they'll just clear it. That's pretty much about it for that one. Good job, Decay. Pretty normal, standard ring style base. Nothing too crazy. Just using that CC to pull your troops into the core. Number 4 was a very special base. Haven't seen a base like this in a long time. Kind of reminiscent of maybe about a year ago. They were, I think it was Go Ho Low Wee bases, where you punch in, with your golems and your witches and take out all the air defenses and then hog the core and then loon the backside. Kind of similar to that. I gave this a try and did some more tricky funneling, I guess you could say, and it nearly worked, but a Tesla screwed me over. Paul comes at this straight with a Queen Walk, though. He doesn't try to do anything fancy. He just kind of just wrecks the base and just goes at it. Which sometimes is, you don't need to get all fancy. You just gotta attack. He does lose pretty much all of his healers, I think. So it was a slightly bad entry for the Queen. But he ends up getting the 3-star, and that's what matters. So the Valks go a little bit off course there. But some of the Queen pulls them back to the core, and he saved a rage spell to get through that wall. Single target Inferno is probably really what saved it. They had a lot of single target Infernos, and they're just the only ever real good reason that I see for single target Infernos is maybe against Go Wipe, or in the old days of like 5 golems, then maybe. But it's just say your Vernos to multis guy. It's just singles are bad. Good job to Paul cleaning up my failure. On number 5 here, we're not going to show this, but a quick mention. Rick hit this base first, and I ended up having to clean it up. If you do a queen walk, and you know that there's a lava hound in the CC, either from a scout or from a previous attack, and if your kill squad is not, wizards in it, basically, ignore the lava hound. Do not lure it and let your queen kill it. Most of the time, the point of a queen walk is to kill the CC because it's very effective. But if there's a lava hound in the CC and you're bringing a totally ground-based army, do not lure the lava hound. Boom. So we don't get to see that attack by Rick, but we do get to see this attack. This attack was absolutely brilliant. We scouted this base and probably talked about it for a good half hour or so. And after a while, we determined that there are only 2 double giant bomb positions, both next to the air defenses and mortars on opposite sides. And Rick was ballsy enough to say, hey, I'm going to hit those double giant bombs dead on and trigger them one at a time. And we were like, cool, man, go for it. So he brings the double golem here because there's a lot of DPS and a lot of tanking. He's not really trying to push very far. He's just trying to get into that compartment, kill the CC, trigger the bombs, kill the queen. That's about it. He just needs his heroes and tanking with a couple wizards. Not really a whole lot necessary. And while everything is distracted, he brings in the hogs from the right-hand side. He grouped up a tiny bit more than I would have, but he had faith. He was going to hit this bomb right, and he did. So here it goes. Boom. There's the first trigger. Hogs heal back up. There's the second trigger, and he made it work. So, guys, not only are double giant bomb positions important in bases, but they have to be positioned correctly. If you can hit the bomb and you only trigger one at a time, it's worthless. It's not really valuable. He's got his wizards down here at the edge, doing some cleanup. Hogs finish up, and there you go. So like most bases at Town Hall 9, it's pretty standard. One side has a double giant bomb, and the opposite side has the double giant bomb. As long as you plan for both of them, your chances of go-hoing for success at Town Hall 9 is very good. Way to go, Rick. There's the final army composition, just straight go-ho, old school. Next up is Luke the Great. We're going to watch some interesting stuff in this attack that I'll point out. He starts off with a queen walk, healers, normal stuff, couple minions for funnel. Liked it. Remember, you want a funnel on the side you don't want your queen to go to. I see a lot of people like funneling both sides, and then the queen just walks into the base. And if that's what you want to do, cool. But if you're trying to get her to walk around the base, just funnel one side. Sends in one hog to get the lure on the CC after that archer tower's gone. Really liked it. Now, this is where stuff kind of got a little bit weird. Poison spells stacked up deal double damage. I mean, not double damage, but they will deal... Each poison will deal damage. It's not like just one poison only does the damage. Both poisons will do damage. But on heroes, it is pointless to have more than one. The damage on heroes is completely insignificant. Oh, I want to pause right there. Is completely insignificant. All you really use poisons on heroes for is to slow down their attack speed, and the attack speed portion does not double stack. If anyone knows differently than what I know, please put it in the comments below and link what you know, and we'll figure it out. The second thing I wanted to point out on this is if you've created one side of the funnel, this left side where his queen walked was an extremely good funnel because his queen just walked it and killed off everything. Whereas this side, there's still a bunch of buildings there. So dropping all of your stuff in the back means they could go left, they could go right, they could head straight in, So if you've created one side of the funnel really, really adequately and one side not so much, just drop everything like way over here, like by the queen or something behind her, and they would head in instead of walking around. Now this ends up working out kind of sort of well, I guess. I mean, he 3-starred, so it worked out. But yeah, not sure why he had wall breakers there. I don't know if he was trying to get another layer deep in or something like that. But the king with a couple wizards walk around, which can be very potent. You know, wizards to shoot over the wall while the king tanks. Golem is in the core with the healers on the golem, so you actually get the full healing, not the reduced healing on heroes. Hogs are just trailing around the base, picking off defenses here and there. He got kind of lucky on this bomb trigger right here, but he made it work out. There's one, there's the second one, and the hogs even split, so that was good. And it's just pretty much cleanup at this point. King and the wizard still walking around. Queen finishes up stuff. So those are just the two big things I wanted to point out on this one. Don't double stack your poisons on heroes. I think he was trying to get the CC as well, but even then you still only need one. And if you do a jump spell into a base and one side of your funnel is really good and the other side's not so good, you can stagger them off towards the side that's really good, and they'll just route around to the jump spell eventually. Next up, we have number 13. TB's taking out this one. This is another kind of really just, it's all about the funneling on these types of bases. Not much else. As long as you can get your stuff to go to core and there's enough value, then it's just all about funneling. TB does a really good job here, though, of using the CC troops to act as aggro in order to get his Valks to the core. We're going to speed through this because I have a couple of the replays I want to show. I think he would have been okay on that queen kill, but I mean, I guess better safe than sorry. So his queen created one side of the funnel, wall breaks in, and there's the CC troops that continue to come out with the witch that pull the Valks all the way towards the core. Excuse me. Some hogs come in on the left side there while Valkyries are tanking. Valkyries in the core with a heal spell. And then just more hogs here and there. Kind of just trickles them in. They work their way around. Queen dies off eventually. Got some wizards on the outside for cleanup. There's a really good heal spell there, shared by some of the Valks, the king, and the hogs. So if you can do heals like that where you get multiple troops converging, you'll pretty much have a higher successful raid, I guess I would say. And he finishes off with made some bacon there with the hogs. Good job to TB using the CC as aggro to pull your Valks into the core. I know it's something at Town Hall 10 that we try to do more consistently, I guess, because it's a lot of Valks. Number 15 here is getting hit by JD in the Mass Valk or near Mass Valk 4 heal. Not even any jumps, just heals them, they beat through the wall. He uses a couple of Valkyries to do some tanking / funnel at the same time. And then a lot of wizards in behind to clear trash. Sends in wall breakers to break in. Out comes the CC. Double poison for it. The double poison, like I said, the damage part, ramps up and scales more quickly with 2 poisons. But on heroes, it's pointless. Pops the queen ability, kills the dragon, get the attack going. Really patient on the Valks till the CC was gone. That's good. And he pretty much just watches the Valk pathing and just heals as needed. I will say for this attack, he made it work. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, guys. Making, an attack work to 3-star base. I think as you get into higher, I don't want to say higher level bases, but higher level walls primarily. Level 4 Valks, level 8 walls are for Town Hall 8. So as you get into those all level 9, level 10 walls, I think this attack slows down too much to really be effective. But at the lower levels, I guess it can work. So it's definitely got to be patient here all the Valks work their way out, which is usually what happens with Valks. They kind of like slice right through a base. They enter through your funnel, they go to the core, and then they push back out the other side. They're really bad at distributing. So patient on the heals there. Waits till they come back into the base, heals them up, and then heals them again. Good job to JD. Impressive. He's always bringing those really unique attacks that I definitely never would have thought of, trying this. But he makes it work, and that's what matters. Next up is... where is he? Yeah. Number 19, BossmanD, formerly Dave the Brave, who is back in the saddle. He was in a slump for a little while, but he went to his physician, he got some Viagra, and he's back at it, slaying these Town Hall 8s. I think in the next war after this, he even got a 6-pack war, I want to say. He experimented with some hogs for a little bit, decided that quite wasn't his taste yet, and he's back to the Gova low with those loons. So it should be interesting when he gets to 9 to see if he picks up the hogs or sticks with the loon and becomes an airman. Lures out the CC there, kills it. A little bit not the cleanest CC kill, but it works. I've seen some worse ones. Comes the quad quake. Good scout there, all the way from the outside where the funnel was created, straight into the core. Here come the Valks. There's the king, followed by some more max Valks from the CC. Very strong at Town Hall 8. The jump from, those level 2 to level 5 Valks at Town Hall 8 is very impactful. He sends in some loons there. Groups of 3 is kind of what we've settled on at Town Hall 8 for being able to, take stuff out effectively. This is a beautiful spot right here. He sends in a bunch of loons and drops a heal spell for it because there's a wizard tower, 2 archer towers, and that's kind of where his Valks were exiting the core. So it's a really impactful heal spell, healing multiple groups all at the same time. Very, very effective. Good job, BossmanD, getting back on it. Good to see you in a war recap again. Valk circle and finish cleanup. You guys got it from there. Last, but definitely not least, is Finn. Finn dropped down to hit. He's a baby Town Hall 9, and he had to drop down to hit one of the 8s. And this is exactly how you do it. Completely risk-free, in my opinion. Do the double zap quake. Sometimes you can get away with 1 earthquake, sometimes 2 earthquakes, and then bring a poison instead. It's kind of base dependent where the ADs are. But you do a double zap quake, take out 2 air defenses, and then just pretty much dragons. You can do dragons with a couple of loons, but it's not really necessary. I mean, whatever. And then you just come in from behind the air sweeper, closest to the 3rd air defense, send a hound in to tank, a level 3 hound from the clan castle, versus a level 6 air defense. Really just, it's not much of a challenge. It will live for a very long time, even for the very, very slow dragons. Did a really good job with the funnel, and then, brought in some loons of his own. That's how you do it, guys. It's pretty foolproof. You really can't go wrong with it. Like I said, you can do all drags. You can do, like half drags, half loons. It really doesn't matter too much. As long as you zap quake 2 ADs, bring in that clan castle hound. It's pretty hard to fail. Hogs are slightly more risky at Town Hall 8 because they can have a double giant bomb spot. There's only 1, but I've seen Town Hall 9s fail in Town Hall 8 with hogs. And, Go Wipe, which we really shouldn't be talking about, but I've seen Go Wipe fails on Town Hall 8 as well. This is the most reliable method. I personally have never failed with it. That is what I recommend people to do. I didn't find a defensive one for this week. So maybe the next war recap. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comments below.